Alright, welcome to an episode of the Nerd Holes. And tonight is a special episode because all three of the Nerd Holes are actually together.
Reunited.
And it
so
feels
good.
feels alright. Alright, so joining me tonight is Adri, the doctor's favorite companion. And then there's Will, the fastest bounty hunter on the earth. And there's me, Caleb, Vault Tech approved. That's where I got my Vault Tech.
Good plan.
So far, so good. Alright, so tonight is going to be a pretty spoiler heavy episode about, we just saw Wonder Woman.
Sparkle, sparkle.
So what did you guys think?
I liked it all.
Yeah, it was good.
I enjoyed it.
Alright everybody, thanks for joining us for an episode of... Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite
I,
DC movies so far, actually.
Yeah, me too. I hate these.
Get out.
No, I'm not like a fan of most of their stuff.
Yeah, what they're producing right now.
And I had high expectations for Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's a lot that they could do with it, but there's also like there's a lot that they could do to ruin it too. Like I was kind of apprehensive to see how much of the like pro like women like powerful women they do.
I didn't really find any of that.
There was none. There really was none.
No.
Because the thing that we kept seeing in the trailer leading up to it was the whole, oh, I'm his secretary. Oh, well, we call them slaves. And I was like, if this movie is over the top with that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
I'm not going to enjoy it. Not that I'm like, women should be in their place.
No, yeah.
It's just like, it's just so
movie.
easy for them to make it like, oh yeah, women, see how powerful women can be, and it's just over the top.
It's a superhero movie.
Yeah.
It's like, just let it be a superhero movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she has powers, just let her be powerful.
Which is why I liked it, because that's what it was.
Right.
Yeah, it really was. And there was, I thought the build-up was pretty good. Because it's, you know, like, her being on her island was, like, good and paced very well. And it was like, you know, the whole audience were just kind of, like, waiting for her to, like, have the uniform, you know, have the outfit and, like, go out and do stuff. And when she finally does, like, on the battlefield,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah, when she climbed out of that trench, I was like, she's so awesome. That was cool. I was like, this is good.
She's gonna mess stuff up, man. She's gonna go out there and she's gonna do it.
Yeah, it was pretty great. I like that part a lot.
Yeah, I thought the acting was really well.
The thing, the
Me
thing I like a lot from the scene after the trench, she goes into whatever village it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's like her fight sequence inside that building with the Germans was like
really good.
It was just on par with like the other Batman sequence from Batman v Superman, which is funny.
Yeah.
It's like have two separate, completely different directors, and you're having all this like amazing choreography.
That's exactly what it reminded me of. It reminded me of Batman from Superman, first Batman, where he's in the room just like destroying people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice to actually just have like an origin movie, because Man of Steel isn't terrible, but it's just like it was nice to have an origin movie, and it's just like, and this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not setting up for anything. It was just
they're not like trying to tell like this deep story of like where she came from and why she's that way.
Right.
It's just like
this is her.
This is when she left the island. And
yeah. The only thing we were kind of talking about that I didn't really understand. I don't know if they're like leaving it open for a sequel or something. But the thing that didn't make a ton of sense was the fact that in Batman v Superman, when Bruce is like, hey, go and do all this stuff and help us, she's like, no, I've given up on humanity.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to do anything anymore.
But we were talking about that before.
Yeah, and it's like at the end of this movie, it's like, yeah, spoiler, it's like Steve Trevor dies, but she was like, well, yeah, she's like...
She was all happy at the end.
Yeah, it's like she was all happy and like
and
looking into the sky and all the...
Right.
Whatever was like happening.
I mean, it is like, what,
So, well,
50, 60 years later? I mean,
from that movie, it's almost 100 years later.
Oh, is it?
Because it's the First World War.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So it's like...
And then modern day, or
Yeah.
DC.
She said it was... They said it was about 100 years, and so it had to be like 1960. Because in Batman v Superman, when they show the picture, it's like a 100-year-old picture, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
So
Right.
it's 2016.
Yeah, 1914 was the beginning of the war. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is, did something... Because now they could have a sequel and have World War II be the sequel, and then something happens there where she gives up on it.
I mean, that makes sense, considering, like, there's a lot in human history leading up.
It does make a lot of sense, but the thing is, it's like, do they really want to do that? Do they want to go Wonder Woman, Justice League, Flash, Aquaman, Batman, second Man of Steel, and then go to the past with Wonder Woman again?
No, they're not.
It's like,
No.
these guys are going to tell progressive stories.
And if they do, it's kind of like they're trying to copy
What I just did.
Captain.
Captain.
Too, because
Right,
it's like, it's pretty much.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, on that topic about like if they want to go back and do stuff and show like stuff, I was gonna ask you a very serious question, and that is, are they gonna explain why Aquaman was in that sunken boat in Batman vs Superman?
Probably not. I can't imagine so.
I don't think they explain much of anything, really.
Because they're like down there and he's just like, I'm in this ship, and then he like swims away.
It's the same thing. They show like they show so many things.
That'll be his whole back movie. His movie will be just why he's in that ship.
That's it.
This is it.
It'll be riveting.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's the thing. I hope that they don't do it in Justice League is that they don't consistently take the time to give all of these guys deep origin stories.
Yeah.
It's like explain who they are, what they do, but just move on from it. You know.
We know what their backstory is.
Right. Well, they're also going to come out with the single Flash and Aquaman movie right afterwards. So it's like just let that be the origin.
When is the Flash movie coming out?
Like sometime it's coming out sometime after Black Panther, which is like February, March. It's somewhere in that.
I'm excited for that. That'll be.
Speaking of,
as long as he's good in Justice League. If he's not good in Justice League, then it's like I'm not going to be excited to see it.
I like his
armor.
Yeah, it's neat.
I hope it'll be good.
I like that it's on like padded stuff.
It's kind of cool. He looks more like, not machiney, but he looks more like actual armor.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
But
speaking of Black Panther, that trailer looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, that trailer looks like.
I didn't see it yet.
Because I wasn't like super pumped for a Black Panther movie. He's really great in Civil War, and then I saw that trailer. I was like, this actually looks really good.
Well, it's cool that they're going to like open up another realm of. It's like Doctor Strange.
Exactly.
They're opening up another completely different world of the comic universe and showing like, hey, there's all this cool stuff you're used to, but then there's also this.
It's like Uganda is like this magical like land that like you can't find, and he's driving around that cool like ship and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like they're mixing like futuristic stuff with.
I think in the comics that's kind of what it was like too. I think he had a lot of like technology and stuff.
Yeah, he had like all of stuff like in his palace, like a museum.
Yeah.
Like hidden from everybody else, so they couldn't get like the powerful stuff. He took like Captain America's shield because it's made out of adamantium, and like that's where Wolverine goes to get adamantium in Origin, whatever that movie is. We don't talk about.
Yeah.
That's where they're going to get adamantium. So like Captain America's shield is made out of adamantium, and Black Panther feels like that's stealing from his land. Not understanding that like Howard Stark had an agreement with his father. And,
Gotcha.
Yeah. But like that, I hope we see that kind of stuff where he's like holding.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I think that's when you'll start to see the other gem, the soul.
You think it's gonna be there?
I was thinking
it was gonna be in Ragnarok.
There'll be one. Well, maybe there'll be one there. Maybe.
But I mean, honestly, maybe not because.
Do we have two left?
Just one.
Is there just one?
Yeah. So it's either gonna be in Ragnarok or Black Panther. Because after that, it's Avengers.
That's true. Yeah.
So I thought it was gonna be the woman.
Yeah, maybe. Because she destroys.
Well, because they're doing that. Everybody's speculating that the things are spelling out Thanos, and her name in Ragnarok is Hela, and H is the only letter technically left.
That's interesting.
Because they have Tesseract, the Ether, which is an A, necklace for the Eye of Agamotto.
Oh, the Eye of Agamotto.
From Doctor Strange, and then the Orb from Guardians, and the Scepter from Avengers.
Yeah, the Orb. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
That's really, I never would have ever put that together.
Loki's scepter.
Loki's
Yeah.
something which is our H.
Yeah.
So it's like they're saying H is technically left, and they're
Huh.
saying
I
the
would
character's
never-
name is Hela, so she must have it to do with it. Because they're saying,
That's cool.
I think they're saying it's the soul gem, and that's what she's essentially doing is like telling everybody she's like bringing what Ragnarok is in Norse legend is essentially like a giant meteor that crashes and destroys the earth
to rebuild like
Interesting.
society and
Yeah. So
makes sense.
that's
Well,
what
she's
they're-
got to have some sort of power because like a normal person without an Infinity Stone can just
Yeah,
Source
which
Hammer.
that would be interesting.
which is like so crazy to me
Yeah.
because it's like after Ragnarok, it's like what happens from there?
Yeah,
Like what's he gonna do?
I
He's
think
not gonna have a hammer.
I think what you're gonna see when
Yeah.
in the trailer when he's all chained up, he's like being arrested or whatever, like captured. He's got his long hair, and then Hulk is later in the Gladiator thing. I think that they're gonna explain that stuff
Mm-hmm.
happened during Civil War. Like
Mhm.
that's like
That's where they were.
that's where like Thor. What's what was happening with Thor?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
That's
Which-
why I think that's what they're gonna do.
I mean that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Guardians was only like a month or two later, so it's not like these movies can't take place like before.
Oh, I mean they're so good at like having their movies be like in a place where you don't really necessarily know what
Yeah.
time they're taking place in.
As much as I like Guardians, I just wish it added more to what we were gonna
Yeah,
get.
yeah.
It was a great movie, but it was just like I kind of wish,
It didn't build towards
which
Avengers.
then
It was just its own thing.
yeah, which
Which I
full
like.
circle
Yeah.
back to Wonder Woman. It's like it didn't. Next movie is Justice League, and it's
Yeah.
like Wonder Woman didn't set up
No.
anything for Justice League
No.
other than that she's in Paris. It's like,
Yeah.
but that doesn't tell us.
That doesn't do
I don't know.
it, yeah.
Stuff like that doesn't necessarily need a lot of setup. I mean, even Justice League does it because it's like, you know, I mean, a little bit maybe.
I mean, you
It
have
would have
to
been nice to have a cyborg movie before Justice League.
Yeah.
If they're going that route and not what we're used to.
you have to admit that it's fine for Marvel to do it because it's like, okay, we have a Guardians movie that's great, but it doesn't really do anything. It's like, well, that's fine. It's a standalone thing,
Yeah, that's true.
right? But
Yeah.
it's like in DC's universe, it's like the only thing that you have that's setting up for Justice League is Batman v Superman, and that plot.
And that's not a setup for Justice League either. 'Cause
No.
It's like
Yeah.
apart.
Everything's
There's
apart.
no together.
Right. So it's like you expect, because Suicide Squad was just that. It
Yeah.
didn't explain anything,
No.
it just showed what they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like you expect the next movie in their lineup before Justice League to be like, hey, this is why Justice League makes sense. Just like they did with Avengers. Like, hey, this is why Avengers makes sense.
Does
Yeah,
that
that's
does
true.
that show you like that they don't necessarily like that they don't have faith in their movies like as far as like production? 'Cause
Well, the
it's-
interesting thing is, it's like, I don't know about Patty Jenkins because they haven't, everybody's screaming about how great Wonder Woman is.
yeah.
So there hasn't really been Patty Jenkins coming out, the director, saying
Mhm.
like, "Oh, this is this," but like David Ayer
She
did
was just
Suicide
trying to make a
Squad.
good movie.
Yeah, but David Ayer did Suicide Squad, and Zack Snyder, who did Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, both have come out and are like, "Yeah, we know what was going on, but it's like the studio, Warner
Like,
Brothers,
you hear
whoever,
Warner Brothers is
just
you know,
decided like we don't want this stuff in the movie," and that's why everybody
Why
was
it
did
was
they have
all
to say?
and it was all the tie-in stuff.
yeah.
It was literally all the stuff. That,
Huh.
That's why
That's
everybody got
really
upset.
dumb.
They're like, "Well, why are you?"
Go to a different studio. Don't
Yeah.
listen to them.
Well, they own it. That's the thing.
That's true.
Disney
I forgot-
owns
I forgot that
Marvel.
they owned it.
Warner Brothers owns DC. You know, essentially, Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse against each other. That's
Yeah.
pretty much what it is.
There's kind of really no against each other anymore.
Not anymore. Well, that's what it is. But
So don't.
Yeah.
So Warner Brothers don't try to be Disney. Just
Do your own thing.
say, hey,
maybe.
look, we have
You
no
do.
freaking clue about any of this stuff.
right.
We you know, you take it and you make it. That's so frustrating to me. It's like the
But that's
directors
annoying.
know what the fans want. They know
Yeah.
the comics, and then you have a conglomerate corporation that's like, just
No.
make us money.
Well, it's like
Don't
when,
do this.
when you watched it here recently. Did you watch the Ultimate Edition, or did you just watch
I watched it on HBO.
whatever the
No,
theatrical
so the
version?
theatrical version.
It's like you watch that and you're like, I don't understand what's happening. And then you watch the Ultimate Edition, and you're like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that. Yeah.
And you're like,
And
why?
that's just stupid.
Yeah, you're like, why do that?
Yeah, it's just dumb. I don't know.
I don't know. They just have Warner Bros. Has some issue with it. But the thing is, it's like the thing I wonder too. It's like Wonder Woman's great, but it's like, did they do it with Wonder Woman as well?
Maybe. Who knows?
And it's just like everybody just likes it, so they overlook anything. But
Maybe not though, because maybe the director was just like, I just want to make like a cool pro like woman superhero movie that's like fun and entertaining.
That was cool. Actually, that you said it brought to my attention that Patty Jenkins went around the world and collected all these like jiu-jitsu and kickboxers.
Oh wow!
And boxers. So like all of those Amazons that are on the island are like legitimate.
Really?
Like
that's cool.
people.
I kind of thought
that's
like,
pretty cool.
So that's why they're
it
like
seems
all
so
built
legit,
differently, and they're not like supermodels. They're actually like strong
like
women.
built like
Because when they're fighting and doing flips and stuff, it doesn't look like they're on strings.
No, it's like
it looks like
that
they're
looks
actually
like
doing
real.
stuff.
Yeah, that's
true.
awesome.
And she said that they hired out like professional like horseback women who were doing like a lot of those scenes
like,
are
I
like
noticed.
bending down.
They were really doing that stuff.
Like were they trick riders or were they just like?
They would have to be.
I forgot what she said in the interview, but it was basically like they were professional.
Trick riders like that's all they do. Yeah, that's really
I never
cool.
got the feeling that entire movie that stuff was like over the top.
No, I remember being really impressed with it because it wasn't cheap.
All the
and
fight scenes were great. So to me that's what DC has going for it is like action and the fight.
They got choreographed.
Batman versus Superman fight scenes were like unbelievable.
Yeah, they were good.
And these fight scenes were like great. So it's like if Justice League is gonna make money in the box office, it's gonna be from fight scenes.
They know how to choreograph their films.
And like you've seen from the trailer already that it's mostly explosions.
Yeah.
It's macho.
I think they like get good actors too.
Yeah, they cast
like,
very well.
This girl, what's her name?
Gal Gadot.
Yeah, I've never seen her, but that doesn't.
She was in the Fast and Furious movies.
Was she?
No clue.
Yeah.
I know.
Never seen them or.
No.
The first four. First four I
She's the I can't think of the guy. She's like he's like Asian or whatever, but he's like in Tokyo Drift. He dies.
Mm-hmm.
It's her.
Okay.
It's her. The girl with the long black hair. That's who it is.
Wow.
She was a really good actress.
She's good.
Yeah, the thing I thought was big hang up I had with Batman Superman with the shoulder. It's like okay, she's good at it. She portrays it very well, but it's like she's very very thin.
Cool.
She's very very feminine looking, and you would expect her to be a lot more
bulked up
bulky.
for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Then when you see them on the island for this movie, they're all very equally shaped.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of see that that's sort of what she's modeled to look like.
Except for that one warrior that was like huge.
Yeah.
She was just beating the crap out of all the little girls.
Well, gotta learn somehow.
But that's just what I mean. Like I would have liked to see her have a little bit more mass, just to be a little more muscular. Because you expect her to be somebody who's like picking people up and throwing them out this thing and stuff.
You would build a little bit more.
That's all.
But man,
that's her power though. Like that's what she does.
Yeah, I mean you can. Yeah, that's a good point. You can kind of.
I know that's why.
Jessica Jones is tiny, but that's what she does.
Right. So since she's a god, she doesn't have to have.
Goddess, sir.
A Daedra.
I get your point.
Yeah, that's all. I would have liked her to
just
have be a little more.
Yeah. When she shows up in Batman Superman for the first time and saves Batman though.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's really good.
He's like, oh god.
What's cool though is like when she's got the shield and the thing in that movie, it's like all that orange stuff is happening, but you just kind of think like, oh, okay, she's wearing like armor that's like mystical or something of that nature. And it's like when you find in this movie, it's like, no, she's doing that. Mm-hmm. She's the one. The only thing that doesn't make any sense is in the airport scene where she's fighting Ares, and then she's just like walking and like everything's just like melting. It's like why? Where was that ability later?
I don't know. I guess like loss and pure rage.
Maybe that's kind of what I was wondering too. Yeah.
I mean, like watching somebody that you love die and then just being mad,
not being able to do anything about it, and like losing your mind. Yeah.
But what's funny though is after she kills Ares, it looks like people are like not so much like caring about war anymore. And then obviously, like we know through human history that it just continues to.
Yeah, they're all
so it's like, oh, are you okay?
yeah.
Where were we fighting about? Oh, I stole your cheese sandwich. Like, oh, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
She's like, but I killed Ares.
we were talking about how we respected that they cast as like an older actor to play Ares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of, that was the one comical thing to me in that movie, is like, I like that guy as like who he was in the government.
Yeah.
And then it's really funny when he's like, oh no, and he like shows that he's Ares, and it's like he's getting all the armor, and then his armor plate goes on, and it's just still his mustache. I was like, that's really funny.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I said when
his armor, his helmet comes on, he's like, it's like this really like menacing helmet, and then it covers up, and it's just his mustache.
Yeah, it's
out.
this like huge Wilford
is
Brimley.
weird.
I have to
Weird.
look this up because I don't remember that.
It was funny.
Yeah, the thing I didn't like that I just appear like a cosmetically wise, I didn't like that he had his huge bristle mustache when they showed him younger after Zeus defeating him.
Yeah, because
I
in
was
Greek
like-
lore, there's not like.
It's either he has a huge beard or he's shaved.
I
was
felt
like,
the same way.
It's like that's okay.
It was
just
like-
make him shave it
Or just
or
spend
whatever.
the money and take it off digitally.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I just that looked. I
It was
understand.
funny.
I think they wanted it to be like, no, look, it's
Hey,
clearly
that's the
the
same guy.
Yeah, but I
I
was.
can tell because he has the same mustache.
Anyway,
He's had that same mustache for 1,000 years.
pretty. I mean, really, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of comical to me.
It was funny because I was looking up through IMDb and I was just seeing like what characters are in the movies that are actually in the comics, and a lot of the names of the Amazonians are actual comic people,
Oh, that's cool.
which is cool. So then you get to this guy, this Sir Patrick something, whatever his name was, and I'm like, it's like there's nothing on this guy, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. And even the German guy who was like inhaling the
main guy.
thing,
Yeah.
Dusseldorf or something like that. Whatever.
Yeah, the main officer.
Because
Oh,
it's
you
not-
mean you know where I'm going.
Right.
You know where I'm going.
Right, bro.
He was dang it, had it.
I don't know. It's not. I can't find a picture of him on here, but
Who was oh, I should know it.
Because you're getting probably a comic version of it, right?
Well,
yeah,
it's
see,
like
these guys think that's who it was.
yeah, they're like the other, and I'm like, that wasn't him.
Right. Everybody thought the Dusseldorf guy was going to be Ares before the movie came out because they were like, oh, well, he's he's a bad guy. He's a German in the movie. He's a notable actor for being a villain because he was Stryker in the origin.
That's what I was going. That's what I was trying to find.
Oh,
Stryker. So I was like, so he was a Nazi, and then he gave Wolverine adamantium.
That lady with the mask was cool.
Yeah, Dr. Poison.
Yeah, she was kind of cool. That's what I was telling McKenna though. Is it's so funny because we just recently watched Phantom of the Opera again.
Uh-huh.
It's like in all these movies, like where people wear face masks, you're like, man, they must look really weird under there. And like in every movie where they take the mask off, you're just like, why do they even wear it?
The mask looks more weird.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Phantom of the Opera takes his mask off, and it's just like his mouth is like.
No, like this whole side of his face is scarred. It's like burnt.
It's like kind of scarred. It's not like gross in his eyes. It's not like Two-Face.
No, it is. It's like at the end of the
No.
movie when he's down there in the water and he looks. He's like looking.
It's not bad.
And no, but like it's from like his eye like all the way down. It's like all burnt.
He looks wrinkly.
Yeah, it doesn't look terrible, but it's not like this right here.
Two-Face
like
has like his
discolored.
skull is hanging out
Well,
and his
Two-Face
eye
is
socket is
disgusting.
hanging out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He should wear a mask. Two-Face is perfect for the pre-mask arrangement.
The
Like,
Phantom should give Two-Face's mask. Yeah.
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 Yeah. If anyone's gonna wear a mask, half mask, it should be Two-Face, right?
Okay. All right.
Dr. Poison was like,
All right.
her mask finally melts and her mouth is just. Oh, I have to cover this. I have to cover this part of my mouth. It's like.
I was unclear. I think I went to the
I
bathroom
am
during the
the-
film.
Boys.
Were they?
I don't think so.
Well, because he was like, my precious.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Because they made poison for him.
Well, they weren't like
She's like. No, they weren't like an item.
No, he just liked.
She was like.
He was sick in the head, and he just liked that. She
Yeah.
was, you
But
can't
she
really.
seemed like she liked him.
You can't really see it.
I think she came across more as like she was.
Garbage.
I think she came across more as like she was. Yeah.
Hot. No.
Yeah, you
but
can't.
it's,
You won't find it.
trash.
You won't find it because like it's the part where his helmet is. He's like making the helmet out of metal.
Magneto.
Gotcha. I'll have to watch it again and I can rent it or buy it.
Yeah,
that is
making
good.
like the thing with the nose and the whole thing.
Yeah,
I
I
mean
mean
that's
like
what Ares
it like
does.
melts
Yeah.
and there's like. It's like he puts. I just picture him putting on this tight helmet.
I
That's
sort
got
of
like
it. I go,
It was such. It was such a Monty Python thing, where like if they were like in Monty Python, if they were to put on like a helmet, and then it just stays still for a second, and then the mustache just pops out of the. Like, that's what it was.
diabetes.
That's funny. Diabetes.
Merely a fresh wound. Come back, me, what woman?
Yeah, and it was nice. I mean, for somebody who like me who likes DC, it was nice to see like Ares in it.
Yeah.
Dr. Poison, because those are actual like
Character
legitimate
comics.
Wonder Woman.
See, for me, it was nice
Yeah, so
just
that's
to.
cool.
It was refreshing just to see a movie. That's what. As soon as we walked out of the theater, that's what I was telling everybody. Like, I was like, hey, you know what was really nice about this movie? Is it like it had a beginning?
Yeah.
And then guess what? The story ended at the end, and it was like a book. other DC movies, there's beginning, whatever this is, over here, and then over here, and then over here. It's just like this was like a beginning to end story. Like this is the story. This is what we're telling. This is what we want done. It's all done.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Now get out of the theater. There's nothing after the trailer. We hate you fans. Get up.
Yeah, they.
Someone, was it you? That
Probably.
said, someone over on this side.
Oh no, there was a guy behind us. He was talking about it. He's like, "There's nothing after." DC hates.
Oh, I heard that, but then I heard someone say, like, what does DC have against
Yeah.
Aftershow? Was that you?
No, it was the guy behind him.
Oh.
So yeah, what does DC have after about credits after the end? I'm like, well, they don't. I mean, they just have Justice League coming up. That's it. What are they gonna promote?
Well, that's the other thing, too.
Hey,
is
come back in 4 months for the same thing. Woo!
Well, the thing is like, everyone always bashes DC for, like, copying Marvel, so it's like, if they did that, then everyone would be mad that they're copying Marvel, but if they
Yeah,
don't do
but
it,
it's
then they're
like-
like, why don't you do that? Marvel does
But it's
it.
like to
So,
get
no one's happy.
people. It's to get people like excited. Like that's what it is.
Yeah, but you
Remember
understand my
when-
point? Like,
You know,
no one's gonna be happy either way.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I might even be one of those people.
Yeah.
They do the same thing. I hate them.
Yeah, garbage. Why don't they do that?
Trash.
How dare you copy
Why are they
Marvel?
advertising this? I've already seen the trailer.
Oh, that's all they do. They just show the trailer.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. They should-
They
what
should
they
make
should
up their
do-
own, like,
they should
like
just-
interview with the stars or something at the end.
They should
Clip,
just start
yeah.
trolling the fans, and like after the end of like Wonder Woman, they'll just play like the trailer for Batman versus Superman. I'm like,
Oh.
all right. Well, final thoughts.
I like Wonder Woman. It was really good. For me, it's about tied for Batman v Superman. And compared to the Marvel Universe, it doesn't really, for me, it doesn't really compare because they have a really well-planned, intricate story plot with that, and it's like Wonder Woman in comparison to that doesn't. Yeah. It's a good movie.
Right.
I mean, it can rival the Marvel stuff pretty heavily, but in the scope of like what that movie did for DC Universe, it's essentially Wonder Woman is essentially 2008 Iron Man.
Basically.
It's like they're now starting to make.
Yeah.
They're now starting to make.
Strong opinion.
Mm-hmm. I
It's
know.
like-
No, you're right. I was just rating it as far as like entertainment value of like. I think if you put Marvel
You
movies.
mean like popcorn movie like type of thing?
Well, if you put like Marvel movies, like some Marvel movies are like really entertaining and fun, and others are like, okay, this is a more like, serious movie. So like in that aspect of like, I'm not seeing this movie for like comedy. I'm not seeing this movie for like action, but like I would put this movie. It was
I wasn't
well-rounded entertainment.
Yeah, I wasn't overly bored with it. So
With Wonder Woman?
with Wonder Woman, yeah.
Well, that's good.
No, because there's some movies where you're watching it and you're just like, okay, you're just like,
Mm-hmm.
let's move this part along.
Yeah.
It's like we know what's coming type of thing. You've seen the trailer 18,000 times, so you know what's coming type of thing.
Gotcha.
So it's like I never really felt like, oh, okay, like let's get this moving type of thing.
No, there was no snow.
No, I didn't feel like that at all either. Yeah. What did I
The only thing I didn't, the only thing, and the one thing, and I don't like about the movie at all, is that Steve and her sleep together. I don't like that at all. She should have just been like, no, 'cause she's a warrior. She should have had like zero interest in that and just been like, no, that's okay. He should have just closed the door and then just.
Like as soon as she got on the boat, she was almost like antagonizing him about like sex and stuff.
Sleep with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, he was kind of like, insinuating things, and then she was acting like, you know, who cares about all that stuff.
Yeah, but also at the same time she was like, well, I've read all 44 volumes of How to Have Sex.
But I didn't take it as that she was trying to like flirt with him. I thought she was just like being very medical and very scientific about it. Like, yeah, I've read all of that.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
No, I think that I kind of saw it as like the point of there being a small contingent of like, I've never been around a man.
Yeah.
And like,
but I know all about them.
Maybe I'm curious as to like what it's all about.
Sure, no,
I kind of felt that like she was kind of like.
I just didn't want it to be a giant love story. That's all.
It really wasn't.
I didn't think it was, minus that scene, I guess, but it wasn't really. Cause what he just like opened the door and she came in and they kissed and then it was like.
Yeah, that was it. There was none of that like stupid crap of like kissing and none of that stuff.
Right. No, I know. I just wish that they.
I agree.
Just excluded it from the movie.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. Agreed.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I think overall I'd probably give it a 10, actually. So.
Sweet.
I liked it a lot. I enjoyed all of it.
It's nice. I read a thing. I'll leave the one last comment out because I don't care about the last thing. But the two things that I said, that's it's kind of nice in a sense of what's happening. They're like, it's nice to be, now to be like a little girl, because it's like Wonder Woman is like essentially the new superhero, and like Rey is a Jedi and stuff like that. So it was like, it's
true.
It's cool
That's
to like
true.
now like little
they have
girls
other
can
things to look up to than princesses and
it's
fairies.
just,
I'm
nice.
totally fine with that.
Yeah.
She's still a princess.
She's a goddess.
Yeah, and a princess.
Is she?
Yeah, Princess Diana. Her mother was queen. She's the princess.
Oh, you're right. Well,
did you know? Well, I'm sure you.
Because she says in the scene, she goes, "I'm Diana, princess of."
Yeah.
And he's like, "The Diana Prince."
Oh, okay. I guess I missed it.
I just found out the other day because I'm like slow, but her aunt, the woman that was training her, is the woman from Princess Bride.
Oh, the
main woman.
The maid woman.
Yeah. That's her.
Yeah.
The dumb blonde I didn't like?
In Princess Bride? Yeah. That's her.
Well, at least she had a redeeming role later in life, because that was
awesome
a terrible
in
role.
Wonder Woman. Well, that's how she was supposed to act in that movie. Is like,
right. No, I get it. Like a dumb bimbo?
Yeah.
Good, because that's how she acted.
Well, good. Then she acted
But
very
she
well.
did a good job at doing
Then
what she
bravo! Standing ovation for acting like a dumb bimbo.
God, she was. Ugh. That was like the one. I know that's how it's. Like, I know, but.
The whole point of that movie
was to be stupid? I know.
The giant rats that live in the woods.
I don't think so. Whatever, that shorter dude, short bald guy.
Oh, the Syrian?
Yeah, he's my favorite part of that whole movie. If he and Inigo Montoya wasn't in that movie, I would have hated it.
What about the main guy? He's awesome. He was Robin Hood.
Yeah.
You're a dork. And not a good dork. We're cool dorks. You'll lose a dork. Wow. I got you were treating your Justice League shirt as sackcloth.
Yeah.
Ah! Alright. No. Wonder.
Courage.
Power.
So never make it to air.